How many thoughts have been generated, how many speeches have been said, speculations, dogmas, doctrines, religions, and philosophical teachings. Thousands of minds who have ever lived, are living now, and will live in the future are unable to solve this riddle and answer just one simple question. One question: what is death? Or better, what is after death? What happens after death? Just darkness and absolute nothingness? Or is the transition to an abode that the human mind cannot comprehend, the realm of sleep filled with mysterious events, the domain of inexplicable physical laws, bizarre visions, comprehensive knowledge, being at one with eternity, just another step in the series of endless transformations of the universe. If you are young, healthy and full of life, your brothers, sisters, children and your parents are healthy, if you have a lot of plans for life, you feel like you still have a lot of time ahead, then don't watch this video. Enjoy life, savoring every moment. You won't be interested in this video. It won't be in tune with your current state. It won't resonate with you. But if death is knocking on your door, if you know what it's like to lose someone you love, or if you yourself feel it coming, then perhaps you can find at least a little bit of an answer for yourself and can look at least a little beyond what you know and make your own conclusion, and it will bring peace and tranquility to your restless heart. But beware of taking for granted everything that will be said in this movie. It gives you food for thought, but not a ready-made answer. Think about it and decide for yourself in the end what is true, what is false, and what is worth doubting. The film reveals the stories of several families who, in one way or another, faced such a phenomenon as clinical death. That is the period of time when your body is recognized as dead by all indicators and then, with the effort of doctors or for some other reason, returns to life. This period usually lasts for a very short time. It cannot be called a dream, it cannot be called a coma. Sometimes this condition is called near-death experience. There are people who, returning from such a state, are unable to remember anything. For them it's like a blink of an eye. But there are also those who describe events that at first glance are hard to believe. There is the story of a pilot who survived disaster, and there is the story of a professor who faced with a ruptured duodenum. There are stories of a woman who barely drowned at the moment when her draft flipped over and broke on rocks. The story of a man who got into a car accident, a man who tried to commit suicide, and a man who nearly died of a drug overdose. Some of these people subsequently wrote a book about it. In addition, several other interviews with various people are briefly touched upon. The reminiscences of all the incidents are colorfully and extensively recounted by the survivors. All this is supported by comments from people who have devoted, I hope, a lot of time to this issue. That is, these are people who work directly with the human brain or face death. An oncologist, and a neurophysiologist, a philosopher studying the works of Plato, a cardiologist and a writer. In fact, each of them has dedicated works or written books about near-death experiences. The narrative is provided with exciting, vivid paintings, soulful and tremulous music, which, as it were, gives the viewer the opportunity to to feel the depth of immersion in the experiences of the characters. I have not heard any arguments against it. There are no materialists who could say in this film that no, all these are just fantasies of unhappy people faced with grief, illusions that they want to pass off as reality, arguments of idealists looking for confirmation of their theories. No, this is not a dispute film. This is a story film, a narrative film. They did valuable interviews, in my opinion, which an average person would hardly be able to put together and hear in a short amount of time with visual dramatizations of the events that happened. Great job, without any reservations. It is worth the time spent, worth thought, and worth sharing it with those who are looking for an answer. For there is nothing more important than life and death. That's all that matters. If after watching this movie you are overwhelmed by a wave of skepticism, keep this in mind. I'll give you something to think about. You did not choose whether to be born, just as you do not choose whether to die. You can bring death closer with your actions. You can postpone it, but you will die anyway. You don't know what your consciousness is. You don't know what a thought consists of and how it carries information. You don't know what made the nucleotides come together so that life would be born. Our sun is just one of the countless stars in the incredibly vast array of galaxies in our universe. The universe, which is nothing but a small fraction of the infinite layer of matter in and out. We are where there is no beginning and no end. Split the Higgs boson and you will find another layer of matter from which it consists of. But it is unlikely that you will get to where the kingdom of consciousness is located. Atoms are controlled there. Thought dominates there. There, before the Big Bang, the idea was born. The matter we know is only outer layer, which is controlled by forces hidden from us in the inner universe. That's where we all go. Those who have ever walked the earth, contemplated the world, those who have not may possibly thought about death are waiting for us there. Life is just one of the endless stages and death is just a transition. With the birth and death of each living being, the universe feels and observes itself, accumulates experience, then moves into the space of thought and starts in another unknown form for us. And so endlessly at every star capable of warming the oceans with its rays, on every suitable planet, in every corner of the universe. Click the button below, please. Share this video and see you next time.